Hey there guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm here updating you guys sort of what I've been doing this past year within 2023. I've been doing these yearly update videos ever since 2021, 2020. I don't even remember, but I've been trying to do these yearly and I think it is a nice and fun way to sort of look back on the year and sort of set my goals for this upcoming year for the channel and sort of with myself as well. So yeah, a lot's happened this year. Or should I say last year, I should say 2023, but also this year. I mean, I started the year off with having COVID, which is why this video took a week longer than it really should have. I really apologize for that because, I really want to crack down on sort of putting myself to a schedule and make sure that I'm using my time wisely and make sure that I am sort of pushing myself, because when you're in the content creator space or even like a freelance journalist, you kind of need to like push yourself to like get stuff done. So that's something that I really want to do within 2024 is to like really be hard on myself and, make sure that I'm getting what I need to get done within a daily, weekly, whatever basis. But yeah, speaking of that, my sort of game journalism and all that stuff, I graduated this year with my bachelor's within journalism at Stony Brook University. That was something that I've been working on for the past few years, and I'm very happy that I was finally able to accomplish that. So yeah, sometimes because of how much has been going on, especially within the second half of 2023, I kind of forget that I graduated. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I did that. I did that within May. I walked up on that stage, graduated, and everything like that. So, very, very proud of myself, obviously, and hopefully that I'll be able to find a job within the game journalism space very soon. But, right now I am currently working at FandomWire. So shout out to Jimmy Mullen. He really helped me out to go and find that job to begin with. He sent me the whole job listing of it on Twitter, I believe. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll shoot my shot, see where this goes. And I've been working there for the past few months. And yeah, it's been nice. It's very flexible. It's very much like, you do however much work you want to do. And I kind of want to do more stuff there. But at the same time, there are some downsides of the job that I'm not exactly 100% a fan of, but it's work, it's game journalism stuff. It does really force myself to write about things that I normally wouldn't write about. There's a lot of obviously topics within the games industry and the gaming world that I normally wouldn't, put myself in. But hey, you know what? This job and sort of this position has really put me into places and doing articles and things that I normally wouldn't do. So yeah. It's been a lot of fun. It is definitely a lot of different people working there, especially because it's all online, and there's like a lot of international people, like the two head leaders of FandomWire Gaming. They're both from the UK, and I think there's only me and one other guy who's from the US, and most of the other people are also international. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely liking it so far. Hopefully I'll be able to find something better, but if not, I'm very much happy doing what I'm doing there right now. And if you see me looking over here, it's because I have my notes. So I apologize if me looking over here gets annoying. But, YouTube. So the moment I graduated, I kind of told myself, like, all right, like, you graduated, you have this degree. Now you got to like push yourself and really put yourself out there if you really want to be a person within the game journalism space, right? So I push myself. I put out that Peter Parker face model video, and also the article. Both did very well for my standards, I would say. Most of the time my YouTube videos if it gets 100 views, I'm happy. But those two video or that video got thousands of views, and on top of that, the article also got thousands of views and reads. So I was like, okay, yeah, like this is something that I'm happy that I did, and I really pushed myself to do that. And also just like get like more reviews out. I also pushed myself to do that, even though I wasn't necessarily the best at it, and I kind of delayed certain things. I wasn't exactly on top of what I was supposed to get done, such as my reviews of Bokura and I believe Counterattack Uprising and all of those games that I got for free. Those games I got for free, and then I didn't immediately start playing them and immediately start writing about them. I really wish I put myself in a position where I was like, okay, yeah, like, bro, you gotta like crack down, you gotta play these games, you gotta write about it, you gotta do what you gotta do. I just wish that I was a little bit faster with that stuff, because obviously like those videos, they did well for the most part, especially my Bokura review. That one is still getting views to this day, because I think a lot of people are interested about the game, but there's not a lot of videos or reviews out there on it. And I think my video is pretty helpful for that if you want to know like what the game's about and like how it is sort of playing that game with another person, etc. So very happy that I am also pushing myself to not just do indie games, but also just like push myself to get like reviews done in general. You know, like I got Spider-Man 2 done a week after it came out, and that was surprising for me personally because I had a lot of other things going on related to Spider-Man 2, such as writing all of those boss fight guides for FandomWire. Like those took a while to write because there were a lot of boss fights towards the later half of the game. Like I was playing for like however many hours and only like the first boss fight happened, and then all of a sudden boss fight after boss fight after boss fight, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta stop here, I gotta write about it, okay, I gotta stop here again and I write about it, etc. So you know, I'm very happy that I got that video done, even though the video isn't that good performing wise, like views and all that stuff. That is a video that I'm very happy about, that I was able to get done within a week's time, record it, edit it, everything like that. So and also I'm now editing with Adobe Premiere Pro. That is something that I am also happy about because of my time at Stony Brook University. It really pushed myself to get familiar with that program because a lot of the classes in there were like, you need to use Adobe Premiere because it is honestly like the standard video editing thing that people use within the industry. So I'm like, okay, yeah, like they're not wrong. But at the same time, when you're throwing like a bunch of journalism students into that program, into Adobe Premiere, it's like, okay, yeah, like this is intimidating. I'll be honest. Like even as someone that's been editing videos from like Windows Movie Maker ever since I was a young kid up until now, it's like that editing software, there's a lot going on, and like you could get lost, and YouTube tutorials are still like my best friend when I'm using that program because I'm just like, all right, how do I do like this very simple thing of like blurring the image? Like, how do I do that? And then I look it up, and then someone quickly tells me how to do it. So yeah, I'm very happy that I'm using Adobe now, just because I was using Camtasia and it was honestly holding me back in terms of like the videos I was making. Like if I honestly knew Adobe Premiere when I made my Last of Us 2 video, that video would be so much better quality wise, just because the way I had to edit that video and re-render it and render it again and sort of go through all these like loops and bounds to even get that video done, it was just like, it's not going to look that great. So, you know, I'm just happy that when I did my Spider-Man 2 video, I did it all within Adobe Premiere, 60 frames per second rendered, everything like that. I had no issues with the program. So, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is live streaming. This was something I kind of made a goal for myself last year. And I was like, once the summer hits, because I'm graduated and everything like that, I got so much time, I'm going to live stream. And that just didn't happen, just because obviously I got the job at FandomWire, and also I was just trying to do a lot more content, just like videos and like articles and TikToks, which I'll talk about soon. It was just like I got a lot more on my plate than I really anticipated, and I was just like, is live streaming on the plate still? Not really, especially because it's kind of hard to really garner an audience. That doesn't mean I shouldn't try, but I think right now live streaming is not on my table right now. I would love to do it. It's just that there's not enough incentive for me to do it as someone that wants to do game reviews and sort of do YouTube videos and articles and all that other stuff. So maybe down the line, I don't know. But right now it's like live streaming is not on my table. Like I said, I loved doing it when I was in that sort of like pandemic mode and just like live streaming Dragon Ball Z Kakarot or whatever random game I was playing. Like I had a lot of fun doing that. But I think if I want to do the game journalism stuff and sort of do the game review stuff, it's like, okay, I gotta like choose that and not be a live streamer right now. You know, like I can do it later, but I think right now I need to focus on what I really want to do, which is the game reviews. And speaking of the TikTok and sort of the short form content, you know, TikTok has really taken off within the past couple of years, and it's sort of amazing to see how massive that form of content creation has become. It's like, okay, wow, like people really like watching TikToks and people really like watching short form content, which I get it because it's just like, you know, it's nice and easy to consume. It's quick, obviously, you know, like it's not something that you really need to like put a lot of time into. But for me personally, I was very stubborn and I was just like, I hate TikToks. I really don't watch short form content like that. Like I don't really go on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or even Instagram Reels and start scrolling for like hours and hours on end. Like I've never done that yet. I've done it for like maybe like 30 minutes, but I've never like done it for like hours and hours and hours, which some people do. You know, it's just something that I see as like a way to watch other videos and sort of get content, but I don't see it as my main way to do it. But I know a lot of people do. So that's why I started to do the sort of podcast highlights and even like my own original TikToks, which, they were kind of fun. It's definitely a different way of like making videos, and it really does express my gaming knowledge in a different way compared to like me making like a 10-minute video on like X, Y, and Z or whatever, right? So, I definitely want to have more fun with it and definitely make more of those. I made, I think, almost like 200 last year, which is crazy. And I only started doing it like halfway through the year, like once I graduated, because I finally figured out like how I was able to make TikToks with my podcast and everything. But yeah, this upcoming year, 2024, a big goal of mine is to definitely make more original TikTok content, and then also make those original TikToks into like longer, fleshed out, more thought out videos, if you will. Just because making like a quick TikTok on something is like, it does take time and effort, but it's definitely not as much if I were to make it into like a full blown video or whatever, right? So, definitely gonna try to do that. And speaking of the podcast, because that's like the main way that I do these sort of TikToks and whatnot, the podcast is going well. I think that me and Damien are still, getting our rhythm and sort of figuring out how we want to do the show. We just recently had our second guest ever on the show, Fernando. Shout out to him. It was awesome to have him on just because, he shares our interest with Sonic, and Sonic Dream Team just came out. So it was like, all right, sweet. We can talk about this together. Maybe more guest appearances will happen in the future. Who knows? But I definitely like the way that me and Damien are sort of having just the two of us and sort of us interacting. But, if there's someone in mind that wants to come on the show and something happens within recency, such as a game or a show or a movie comes out, all three of us could watch it and then we could talk about it on the podcast. But yeah, we're just going to continue pushing forward, and hopefully that we'll just continue having fun with it. Because honestly, I would love to have the podcast have a lot of eyes on it, but I think that the way that we're just doing it is just like two guys on the internet that just want to talk about games and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. It's fun. I really do like the way that we do it every other week. Sadly we didn't record this past week because I had COVID, but and yeah, we're just going to talk about my goals for 2024 now. So 5,000 subscribers, that is like my number one goal. Hopefully I could even hit 6, because I know that my growth from 2022 and also 2023 is very similar, but I definitely want to accelerate that, especially because I have the sort of YouTube shorts and the TikToks and all that stuff. I know mostly you won't gain like a really strong audience with that, but I definitely want to try to, at least get some people on board, see how they're vibing with me, how they're vibing with my content, and sort of have them be on board with my YouTube stuff and maybe even my articles or whatever else. Obviously more original TikTok content, because obviously I'm still doing like the podcast clips and all that stuff, which is still fun to do, but I definitely want to do more original stuff. Like if a news piece, article, or something comes out that I want to do like a quick TikTok on, I think that I should definitely push myself to do that if I have the time within that day. And also just like more game reviews. Like I said, I was very proud of myself after I graduated in May to get all of these reviews done, from Sonic Frontiers to Sonic Frontiers the Final Horizon update, Sonic Superstars, Spider-Man 2, a bunch of other reviews that I'm honestly forgetting about now, but Mario Wonder, a bunch of games have come out in 2023 that I really, really loved, and I'm glad that I was able to get videos of those done. But obviously, 2024, the grind doesn't stop. There's going to be a bunch of more games coming out this year that we still don't even know about. There's a lot of games that are probably going to like shadow drop or whatever and sort of just like randomly come out, and it's going to be cool. I cannot wait to see what I'm able to accomplish within 2024, and I hope you guys stick around to see me do it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say within this update video. Thank you for watching any of my videos within the past year or even years prior, and I hope you guys stick around to see what I'm able to do within this new year. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a great holiday, a better New Year's than mine. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay subscribed for new videos on Saturdays. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at tvsonicgaming. And obviously check out my podcast called The Tramps Name Podcast. We talk about games, movies, and anime every other week. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video once again. And thank you for an awesome 2023, and hopefully we have a better 2024.